Citrus TV has learned commencement will be held on the quad. We'll have all the details up next.
And Tapingo's food services on campus have shifted to Grubhub. Find out why the change was made and if you'll have to pay more as a result.
And New York's Health Council has approved the country's first statewide ban of flavored e-cigarettes. Find out when the law goes into effect.
Now, Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts with breaking news.
We begin with breaking news and a live look at the Syracuse Quad. Citrus TV has learned that this year's commencement will be held here. Good evening, I'm Jenna Bree.
And I'm McElrath. The university will make the announcement official tomorrow morning. This comes after the planning committee made a strong recommendation to the chancellor that the ceremony be held on the quad. Citrus TV will keep you updated as we learn more.
SU Fire and Life Safety is making sure students know what to do when there is a fire. They taught students how to use fire extinguishers outside Lyons Hall this afternoon. The university says FLSS will conduct fire drills in buildings around campus all throughout next week. They say the drills will last about 5 to 10 minutes and that you should not re-enter the building until they give you the all clear.
Syracuse University continues knocking down houses on Ostrom Avenue, and now only the home of the student newspaper, The Daily Orange, remains. Rumor has it the land will be used to create more student residence halls, but the university has yet to confirm or deny the plans. Citrus TV News will keep you updated on what will be made of the newly opened land.
New at 6, we're finally figuring out what's behind SU Food Services' switch from using Tapingo to Grubhub. Citrus TV reporter Ricky Sayer is in studio with more.
Thanks, Jenna. It turns out this has been a long time coming. I know this has been a bit confusing for students who started seeing these messages about the switch on campus and on the Tapingo app. So what's behind it? I found out. It's the lunch rush at the alumni and faculty dining restaurant, and students better have their numbers ready.
22.
These guys ordered ahead using the Tapingo app.
It says right here, allow 20 minutes for grilled items to be cooked. So if we order in class, it gives us a lot more time to get our food and get to more class.
67.
Thank you.
66.
For years, Tapingo has been the only way to skip the line at cafes like Page's. That is just what is changing.
Yeah, on the app it says that they was switching to Grubhubs.
You can see the signs in cafes and dining centers all across campus, but don't think of it as SU ditching Tapingo. Rather, what happened is Grubhub bought Tapingo.
This happened a year ago, probably early December, but we didn't roll it out until September because we didn't want to do it mid-year on campus.
Now that the switch to a more familiar app is taking place, SU Food Services is already seeing a big impact.
We're seeing 40% increase in students going into Grubhub.
Delivery options launched for many people on campus last week.
I like delivery because it's fast, it's easy. It does cost extra with delivery charges sometimes, but it's honestly worth it because I'm living in a really fast world.
For students using the takeout option, it's the same strategy with execution on just a different icon.
Sometimes I'll be like a little naughty or whatever, and I'll order it in class so that when my class is done, I can just grab it and be on time for my next class if I only have a 10-minute break.
Now the question on many people's minds, what does this mean for my wallet? Bracy told us there will not be any increased fees associated with this change. She also noted that because Grubhub is such a big company, that we can expect to see a lot more discounts coming soon. So overall, net positive for students. Back to you.
Thanks, Ricky. Syracuse University Student Association is offering 4 free STI screening clinics. SA is working with the Barnes Center at the Arch to promote safe practices and provide confidential screenings. Statistics show college students are a high-risk group for STIs, and most people who have one don't know it. The first clinic will be Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
It's Career Week on the SU Hill, and today is the day Newhouse students work to impress potential employers. Dozens of recruiters are at the Goldstein Auditorium below the Shine Student Center for the Newhouse Career Fair. Companies include CBS News, the Fox Corporation, local news stations, and many others. Shine is currently under construction, but Goldstein Auditorium is still open. If you're going, you will need to enter through the doors facing Byrd Library. And the Food Bank of Central New York and the Syracuse Common Council are partnering up to bring free food to kids after school. Reporter Aaron Lyons says the program impacts kids across the city at no cost to taxpayers.
You gotta think about it.
Most schools serve lunch between 11 and 11:30, and if a kid is getting here at 4 o'clock, that's like 5 hours of not having something to eat.
It's hard enough feeding one hungry kid, let alone 20. However, SEAL's Community Center Director Denise Moore can count on the support of the Syracuse Common Council and the Food Bank of Central New York. Last week, the Syracuse Common Council passed an agreement between the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Youth Programs and the Food Bank of Central New York. According to Common Councilor Joseph Carney, this agreement provides free after-school meals to kids across Syracuse.
So about how much of an impact do you think this agreement will make?
It's the kids, and a lot of the time they're kids that probably don't have anywhere else to go.
Carney says it was easy to pass the agreement with the Food Bank of Central New York. The need for this type of program in Syracuse made everyone want to get on board.
Sort of a no-brainer.
Any donation, big or small, from the Food Bank of Central New York has an impact on after-school programs and community centers across Syracuse, like the one over here at SEAL's Community Center in Kirk Park, where about 20 to 40 kids come through every day after school for a free meal.
And in our program, it's all about the kids, all about them.
Director Jesse Brantley says the food bank helped out before, but now it's more formal.
More agreement at first. Again, food bank has always provided the meal for the program. Then we looked at it and said, hey, why don't we get this on paper and make it a formal agreement?
I love them so much. But you know what? You know what I love more than the fact that I love them? They know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
Amber, today was such a beautiful day. It was so warm out, sunny. It was just perfect.
I know. I really hope this weather continues before we start to see that Syracuse cold. And Citrus TV weather anchor Nicole Weaving is live from the quad where graduation will take place. Nicole?
Thanks, Amber and Jenna. I'm out here on the quad soaking up these last couple rays of sunshine on what's been a beautiful Wednesday. The sun just starting to sneak behind the clouds. And as we take a look at your weather forecast for right now, it's about 71 degrees right now. Barely any clouds in the sky and only a light breeze at about 5 miles per hour. We're also looking at a 7:09 sunset for tonight as we're just 5 days from the start of fall. So those nights gradually going to start getting shorter. And then as we take a look at tonight's forecast, that temperature is going to dip down into the high 40s at about 47 degrees. So if you are planning on going out, those seniors heading out for flip, make sure that you bring a jacket with you because it will get pretty chilly. That humidity going to stay at about 72% though, keeping some moisture in the air, holding the heat in a little bit, but there is no rain on the way, so no need for an umbrella. And I'll let you know if these sunny days are here to stay in my full weather forecast later in the show. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nicole. A busy on-ramp to I-81 is closing indefinitely for repairs. The New York Department of Transportation has blocked off the Pearl Street on-ramp to fix a guardrail. The repair is happening on the northbound bridge over North Salina Street. Drivers need to look for alternate routes.
Police are investigating a stabbing of a 17-year-old girl that happened last night on Syracuse's west side. She suffered non-life-threatening injuries to her chest. Police responded to a call around 8:30 last night. They say they're trying to figure out who stabbed her. Syracuse police have arrested a suspect in an unresolved homicide case. 27-year-old Anton Kelly was taken in for killing a 21-year-old 3 years ago. Kelly is charged with second-degree murder. Police arrested him in Rochester, and he's now being held at the Onondaga County Justice Center. The Syracuse Veterans Affairs Medical Center is experimenting with a new virtual reality system. Earlier today, the VA revealed the groundbreaking system to help treat post-traumatic stress disorder. The VA and Syracuse University are partnering with two nonprofit organizations. This is the first virtual reality unit at the medical center. And the next Bachelor has been revealed, and a Syracuse woman will be one of the contestants looking for love. ABC announced last night that Peter Weber, also known as Pilot Pete, will be the leading man on this season of the reality TV show. Weber will have 33 women to choose from this season, including Syracuse's own Tammy Lee. Lee can't talk about her time on the show until she gets eliminated or potentially gets the final rose. The Bachelor will start airing in January. New York is now the first state to ban e-cigarettes. The ban requires all vendors to remove the products from their shelves before October 4th. The New York Health Department says that almost a third of high school students in New York use vaping products. Health officials are continuing to crack down on the hundreds of illnesses reportedly caused by the e-cigarettes. A new report says that more than 100 bridges in the Syracuse area are in poor condition. Those bridges include parts of I-81, I-690, and the New York State Thruway. The report says more than 900,000 vehicles drive on the bridges every day. Officials say this doesn't mean it's unsafe to drive on, but the bridges may need to be repaired for heavier vehicles.
And coming up, President Trump has named a new national security advisor. Learn who will be taking the reins from John Bolton.
And the United States is taking a stand against Iran in light of accusations that the country attacked Saudi Arabia. Find out how President Trump is responding when we come back.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver. The one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
President Donald Trump is naming hostage negotiator Robert O'Brien as his new national security advisor.
The announcement comes just over a week after Trump fired O'Brien's predecessor, John Bolton. O'Brien previously worked in international affairs for the Bush and Obama administrations.
O'Brien will be Trump's fourth national security advisor in 2.5 years.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is calling a strike on Saudi oil fields a, quote, act of war.
Pompeo's comments come after drone attacks on 2 major oil facilities in Saudi Arabia this weekend. Yemen's Houthi rebels took responsibility, but Pompeo says U.S. intelligence indicates the attacks came from Iran.
Today, Pompeo is on a scheduled diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia.
And as the Secretary of State continues his visit, President Trump is ordering new sanctions on Iran.
The administration will make an announcement within the next few days. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia accused Iran of attacking Saudi oil fields over the weekend.
In a tweet today, Iranian minister says President Trump is, quote, escalating an economic war.
And to the Manhattan Financial District now, where the New York Federal Reserve is taking steps to contain short-term borrowing rates.
The New York Fed put $53 billion towards keeping borrowing rates low and easing stress on lending banks.
This marks the first time they've used these tools since the 2008 financial crisis.
And a new report says that abortion rates are the lowest they've been in nearly 50 years.
The most recent data shows a 7% drop from 2014 to 2017. The study gave a couple explanations for the dip.
It attributes it to a declining pregnancy rate and the difference of abortion access between liberal and conservative states.
The latest in the Israeli legislative elections, the race for control of the government is still deadlocked.
Official results show a slim margin between the top two parties, with 62% of the votes counted. The opposition Blue and White Party has received just over 25% of the vote. Meanwhile, incumbent Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's party trails by half a percentage point.
If neither party obtains a majority of the votes, the country will have to hold a third election in less than a year.
In the United Kingdom, the UK Supreme Court is weighing whether Boris Johnson's suspension of Parliament was legal.
A lawyer for the British Prime Minister is arguing it's not up to the courts to decide. Last week, a Scottish court decided the suspension was illegal.
The basis of that decision was that Johnson's suspension of Parliament was a legal matter, not a political one.
And coming up on Citrus TV News, I'll have your full weather forecast, letting you know how much sun we can expect and what we can look forward to on game day.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And right now, taking a look around central New York at the different temperatures that we're seeing. Pretty much most places looking in those high 90s or high 60s and low 70s. And you see a nice tic-tac-toe between Penn Yan, Ithaca, and Binghamton at 69 degrees right now. And as we take a look when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be seeing a bright sunny day. So what we saw today, barely any clouds in the sky, not too much wind. That's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. And we're going to see about 56 degrees when you wake up in the morning. So definitely a little bit chillier. I think layers have been key through these past couple days, and that's going to stay true for the next couple because it'll warm up consistently throughout the day. And that humidity at about 77. It's been higher the past couple days, but it'll keep some of the moisture still in the air and keep those temperatures high. And then as we take a look, as you plan for the rest of your day, as I mentioned, the temperature is going to be moving throughout the day and increasing. We're getting up to 69 by noon and then up to 71 by 6 p.m. That's kind of how we saw today. So remember, layers key. Wear a jacket in the morning if you have some early morning classes, but by the time you get to tonight, spend some time on the quad, and you don't have to worry about wearing something too heavy just yet. And the chance of rain, 0%. I'm not even kidding. There should be no rain tomorrow, and you should be able to just enjoy a cloudless sky, and that will be such a beautiful day to be spending outside. So we take a look at our outdoor activity outlook, read on the quad, go for a run, however you enjoy spending your day outside. Tomorrow is the day to do it. As I mentioned earlier, we're just 5 days away from fall, and that's when temperatures are really going to start falling. There's also an Orange After Dark movie tomorrow night outside, so go check that out if you're looking for something to do to spend these beautiful nights. And then, as I mentioned, temperatures are getting lower. Today, looking like a little bit more of an outlier than the rest of it, because as you look at the lows throughout the rest, it'll be about high 50s, low 60s for those low temperatures. And I'll have my 5-day forecast later in the show.
Coming up on sports, Syracuse football is trying to pick itself up following that blowout loss to Clemson in Week 3. Hear what Dino Babers is saying about SU's next opponent on the other side. We're back in 90.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse football has an opportunity to get back on the right track this weekend against a familiar foe, Western Michigan. The Orange squared off with the Broncos to open the 2018 campaign and came away with a barnstorming 55-42 victory. Dino Babers still has plenty of respect for WMU as he prepares to face them again on Saturday.
They proved last year that they're capable of scoring points and they can get us into a shootout. And they're not afraid of us. And they're going to be coming in here, and their head coach has a lot of experience playing in this place, so he knows the positives and the negatives that he needs to get his team ready. And we expect a very hungry and an opponent that can beat us. And we better come ready to go. And we better be ready to play a very, very good football game.
And last night, Syracuse men's soccer won their first game in 4 attempts, defeating Cornell 3-2 in overtime. The game featured 2 goals in the first 5 minutes and was tied 2-2 at halftime. But the defenses stepped up, and a scoreless second half meant overtime for the 4th consecutive game, where freshman defender Noah Singleman scored his first goal for the Cuse to seal the victory after 3 straight ties. And following a groundbreaking law passed in California, the New York Senate is now pushing a bill that would allow college athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness. The so-called New York Collegiate Athlete Participation Compensation Act would also allow student athletes to hire agents, require colleges to establish a fund for athletes who suffer long-term injuries, and divide a portion of ticket sales among student athletes. And Syracuse men's basketball freshman Joe Girard III will receive the Inspirational Award at the American Cancer Society's Coaches vs. Cancer Dinner in October. Girard will receive the award in honor of his late grandfather Joe Girard Sr., who passed away from skin cancer in 2016. Girard III is New York State's all-time leading high school scorer. And 4 former Syracuse lacrosse players were selected in last night's National Lacrosse League draft. Tyson Bomberry went 10th overall to the New York Riptide, while Bradley Voigt was selected in the 4th round by the Rochester Nighthawks. The Riptide also picked Brad McKinney in the 6th round to join Bomberry, and Austin Fusco rounded out the night for SU, going in the 6th round to the Philadelphia Wings. And in Major League Baseball, the Mets are fighting for their playoff lives in Colorado, trying to mount a comeback, currently down 4-3 in the top of the 9th against the Rockies. Meanwhile, the Yankees look to clinch the AL East title with a win against the Angels as CC Sabathia takes the mound at Yankee Stadium for the final time in the regular season.
Now, Cam, if this bill gets passed in New York State, how do you think that will affect college athletes here at Syracuse and across the rest of the state?
Well, obviously, college athletes in Syracuse would be able to profit off their name and likenesses. They could appear on the billboards that you see when you drive into Syracuse and at the Dome. And of course, you talk about ticket sales going to student athletes. This would be a huge win for student athletes across the state. It's why we're seeing it passed in California, and other lawmakers in states like South Carolina are trying to implement it.
Thank you, Cam.
Thanks so much, Cam. And when we come back, we'll take one last look at your weather. Stay with us.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Got a quarter?
All right, Nicole, tell me what I should wear tomorrow for game day.
So game day, actually Saturday, don't worry about it. It'll actually be beautiful. It's gonna be about 83 degrees and it's not gonna get too low till at night. So since it's a noon game, you'll be able to roll up in some shorts even, break out a skirt if you're feeling like you have one of those cute little cheerleading skirts to go for. Break out some of your best tailgating outfits while it's still warm out to do so. And taking a look at the rest of our 5-day forecast, it's gonna be more into the 70s the rest of this weekend, but going into this weekend, it'll build into its 80s, getting up to a high of 85 on Sunday. And look at that, barely any clouds in the sky. Not until Monday will we start to see a chance of rain. Already looked at those lows, but look at those highs. I can't believe it's going to be 70 and even low 80s throughout the rest of this week, heading into the start of fall.
All right, one more question for you. When do you think we're gonna start to see those temperatures drop?
I think that it will start as of next week. I mean, we look at those lows already getting into the 50s tonight, low of 47. So I think that those lower temperatures are on the horizon as we get into the start of October. But I think that for now, let's just enjoy the sun while we can.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole.
And internet users are no aliens to the Storm Area 51 trend from this summer, which jokingly encouraged people to raid the famous Nevada government facility. But 2 young men from the Netherlands may have taken it too far.
Officials arrested a Dutch YouTube personality and his friend for trespassing near Area 51. The two were originally set to serve 1 year in jail, but will spend only 3 days if they pay a small fine. I just think that's crazy. Do you think they really came all the way over from the Netherlands to storm Area 51?
I didn't realize that people were taking the joke so seriously. I really did think that people just thought it was a joke, but I wonder if this is going to encourage more people to go and storm Area 51.
And I wonder what they would see when they get there. What do you think they would see?
I don't think they're going to see aliens. I don't think they probably didn't get that close to the facilities just because the government blocks it off.
Would you storm Area 51?
I personally would not. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's on Google Maps. So.
Okay, cool.
And that's all the time we have for you tonight. Follow us on Twitter. My name is Amber McElrath.
And I'm Jenna Bree. Have a great night, Syracuse.